Welcome back to another episode of Hoot and Poop. So in today's video, I want to bring you guys on this topic called game selection. Okay, so basically, I have been listening to a lot of other successful investors along the way so that I can improve myself. And I came across this interview by Yen Liao. Okay, so he actually had did a summit at Microcap. Okay, to talk about this topic called the game within the game. Okay, so I will be pasting the link in the comment section as well so that you guys can go and watch the full video. So basically my today's video is more of like giving you guys a quick summary on my thoughts about what I have gathered through Yen's teaching. So basically in his whole so-called presentation, it's about an hour. He talks about, as an investor, you need to pick the right game. So what do you mean by pick the right game? Basically, you have to pick a game that you can win. All right. And this means to say that, pick companies, okay, where you have conviction in, all right? And conviction is not just that, and it's something that you understand it. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, so basically, if you think about it, if let's say you choose this company, okay, and if you don't understand anything about it, okay, you spend lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of time, researching, trying to understand it and so on. So let's say after, maybe 1 month of research, okay, and you think about it, do you think that it makes sense if let's say you have no idea about it and after 1 month of researching it, right, you will be fully, you can fully understood what the whole company is all about, as compared to if this company is in your circle of competence, for example, okay, or you have some prior knowledge before that, okay, and you go and you start researching, and you imagine the time spent, the equal time spent on companies that you kind of understand it, or rather have knowledge before that, compared to one that is fresh new. Which one would be more efficient? Which one would be more better in terms of your time spent versus the rewards received? So the point here is that, okay, as an investor, we must pick a game that we can win, meaning to say we must choose companies that we have conviction and we can understand it relatively easier, because the time spent will be then valuable to us. And because of that, there is a higher chance of investors generating sustainable, superior returns over the long run. So this is what we call as picking the right game. So throughout my whole investing careers, right, I have made mistakes on choosing companies that I thought it's something interesting, it's something that hype, but I don't really have prior knowledge to it. All right, even so, I try to spend time reading it and stuff. It's really very difficult because first, before I go into understanding the company, I must first understand the whole macro economy on this sector. Like let me just give you an example. I'm not from any, for example, maybe I have no knowledge on cars. I do not know how mechanism cars work. So if let's say I go straight into maybe, for example, a motor, right, a car motors, how would I know whether if this is good or bad? For example, there's this company called Exo Technology. Basically, they're using some coil technology to generate to replace fuel for your car or something along that line. Okay, so if I do not know how motors work, how this kind of fuel spare parts of cars work, how would I be able to understand it? Even if I can read, I have the knowledge, but do you think I can fully understand it as compared to maybe, for example, Arcade, where I have prior knowledge on quantum? I have prior knowledge on quantum, on physics and stuff. So which one would be much better for me to understand and having more conviction upon my research? So this is something that, right, in today's video, I want to bring up to you guys, picking the right game. So I hope you guys look at all your portfolio, all your holdings. Ask yourself if these companies are companies that you are aware of, you know of, you have conviction in, or are these companies a borrowed conviction from people? Okay. Now, Ian also shared 3 winning strategies, which is the compounders, circular with cyclical, as well as quality transition. So for compounders, he mentioned that, for him, he chose monopolies and oligopolies. Okay, so the reason why he chose monopolies and oligopolies is because, okay, these companies being so niche and controls the whole sector of their own company, they compound good earnings over a long period of time, which is very important because if you think about it, when you invest in a company, if the company is not earning, it's not generating revenue, then what's the point of investing in them, right? And why oligopolies and monopolies? Because if they are monopolies or oligopolies, whatever, and if the products that they are producing is impactful, okay, regardless whether is it healthcare, is it automaker or whatsoever, as long as the things that they are bringing to the market is impactful in a positive way, there will be people coming for it, and when people come for it, there will be a stream of revenues. And if it's good, this stream of revenue will last for a period of long time. And from a shareholder's point of view, as long as the company is making money, as long as the company is having profits, having revenues, in the long run, the company will do well. And because of that, it will increase the intrinsic value of the business. Okay, and I also shared in my previous video is that the share price and the intrinsic value of the business will converge at some point in time. It definitely will. So this is what we call about the monopolies and so as the oligopolies. Okay, they can compound for a period of long time, and they have a high win rates and predictable. So as an investor, you think about it, will you prefer to invest in a company where it's unpredictable or predictable? Okay, for example, unpredictable maybe like a drugs making company. Okay, you produce these certain drugs. Okay, yes, it is a monopoly, it's oligopoly or whatsoever. It's useful, it's beneficial. It will help a lot of people. But the greatest pitfall for any drugs company is that they must get FDA clearances, and getting FDA approval takes a long time. And FDA approval is only within, like for example, the US. In EU, there's also other things. So the question is that, is it predictable? Is it predictable that this drug company can get FDA approval? May or may not, right? But if this medical device or medical product has already obtained FDA approval, then yes, there is a predictability in it. For example, we talk about ClearPoint Neuro. ClearPoint Neuro already obtained FDA approval, but also that's predictable to me. And I personally feel that that's in kind of like monopoly, or even if you want to put it in oligopoly, I personally think it's okay, but I deem them as monopoly. So these are companies that to me is good, but then the downside of ClearPoint Neuro is that it relies a lot on their partners. So that's itself is also another portion on whether you have to debate between predictable and unpredictable. So that's something that you have to think about it. So for compounders, based on Yen's point of view, is that he looks at monopoly, oligopoly that can compound good earnings for a long period of time, and they have high win rates as well as it's predictable. That's the first point. Second point, circular with cyclical. So what does it mean? It's more like, if let's say this company, this industry, this business have some demand shock, okay, that and with a delayed supply response, okay, and of course their margins and free cash flows are exploding due to the late supply response. So it's more like, in my opinion, it's more like a turnaround business, something along that line. This is not something that I'm very good at, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. And the third point we should talk about is quality transitions. Basically, what does it mean is that because currently this business is a low quality business, and then somehow the board brings in new management to turn around this business into an excellent quality. So this turnaround business from a low quality into an excellent quality hinge a lot on the aspects of the new management, how capable they are, who are the talents that they bring in. In my opinion, when we talk about investment, it's not just about the product, it's also who drives that product, who are the people behind the business. And key managements, or rather good quality managements, are key to every success of the shares or other company. Okay, and also you need to look at great management team that can execute a strategy. So these three are his winning strategies that Yen look out for. Okay, and of course, in summary, he talks about what are the few keys to success. So the first one, Yen focuses on potential energy in his portfolio, meaning to say his portfolio is either coiling with profit potential or it's performing. Now, he can't control the performance part, but he can control on the profit potential. If you think about it, right, what does it mean is that it just goes back to the three strategies that we're talking about. For example, a compounder, if it's a monopoly or oligopoly that, they're providing good businesses, generating good earnings, all right, you can see that, the business is coying, rather the business is like, coying with the profit potential in it. Okay, and also if they have good management, it further adds on to the potential energy of the business. And once, okay, the market spots it, okay, it will bounce up, it will shoot up. And this is where my point on the intrinsic value of the company matches with the share price. So we can't really control the share price because this is up to the market, but we can control whether or not this business is doing well. And if you are doing well, you are actually coying with profit potential. And this is something that we can control, and this is something that as an investor, we must watch out for. How do we do that? Firstly, the first criteria is you must first understand the business. After understanding the business, you must also understand the general, macro environment, okay, of this business is in. For example, let's just give you, let's say Upstart dealing with loans, then we have to see how profitable loans are, mortgage loans, auto loans, personal loans, what is the total addressable market, etc. And then how do we monitor the news, monitor the competitors, monitor the companies based on their quarterly earnings transcript, and left to see whether are they performing, are they improving along the way. So that's the first point. The second point is that you as an investor, you must be comfortable, okay, to handle periods of very high valuations. All right, and because of that, you must also accept drawdowns and underperformance without knowing when will happen. So meaning to say, in summary, you must accept volatility. Okay, so your share price can swing up 50%, swing down 50%, swing up and swing down for all I care. But you know that as long as the company is doing well, the share price can go crazily high, crazily low. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, you know your game, you know what's the end point, and use the price movements as a way to serve you to make your decision whether do you want to buy or sell on that day. So if you think about it, if the share price drops really low with respect to your intrinsic value, okay, and you know that this company is really doing well, and if the share price is really low, and this is the time for you to add. So it's simple as that. So basically, these are the three key success that Ian has talked about on the game within the game. So I pretty much did a quick summary on this. I really highly recommend you guys to watch the full video to experience or understand the concept yourself directly from the person, which is from Ian. Okay, and just take note, as an investor, it is important for us to find the game within the game, to know who you are as an investor, know what type of profile you are, and play the right game to your own strategy. Don't try to be other players if you are not that kind of person. Be honest to yourself, and you over the long run, you will certainly do well, right? So I hope you enjoy this short video, and I'll see you in the next video. Invest safe.